Insane! 2% of Elon Musk's wealth can solve world hunger. The executive director of the United Nations World Food Program believes that 2% of Elon Musk's fortune is capable of ending world hunger. He believes it has the potential to aid in the fight against world hunger. In 2019, the UN received roughly $11 billion from the US, which accounted for 1/5 of the donations made that year. This leads us to the question, do you believe that only 2% of Musk's wealth is required to solve the world's hunger problem? Sit back and relax. So on Tuesday, the 19th of October, David Beasley wrote, "Congratulations to @Elon Musk for passing up @Jeff Bezos as the world's richest person, worth a whopping $221 billion. Elon, to celebrate, I'm offering you a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Help us save 42 million people from starvation for just $6.6 billion. Offer expires soon, and lives do too." During an interview in a CNN program, Connect the World with Becky Anderson, David Beasley argued that billionaires like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, the world's two richest individuals, ought to stand up now on a one-time basis. As of now, according to Bloomberg, Tesla CEO Elon Musk's net worth is approximately $290 billion, making Beasley's request for a donation of less than 2% of his fortune conceivable. Tesla recently passed the $1 trillion market value milestone, marking it the second fastest firm to do so. Elon Musk says he will contribute the $6 billion in Tesla stock to the United Nations Food Agency if David Beasley can explain how the $6 billion will end world hunger. Musk is currently the world's richest man. He stressed that for the public to know exactly how the UN spends money, it must produce an open-source accounting report. According to the agency's records, it received $8.4 billion in donations in 2020 to accomplish its objectives, but it was $5.3 billion less of the estimated target. The United States, Germany, and the United Kingdom are among its main donors. Most people argue that world hunger is not a fiscal problem, it's a problem of politics and people. What is your take on this one? If David Beasley's estimates are accurate, this would allow the United States, or many other nations, to end food insecurity on a whim if it were only 2% of Musk's wealth needed. Currently, Elon Musk's net worth exceeds that of Greece's GDP. Wow. Must be amazing, huh? It's mind-blowing that a single person can be worth more than most modern countries, let alone Greece today. According to the Americans for Tax Fairness, or the ATF, and the Institute of Policy Studies, the total wealth of the United States billionaires has nearly doubled ever since the outbreak of the pandemic in March 2020. Now, Beasley warned that many countries are knocking on famine's door because of a perfect storm of crises, like climate change and the COVID-19 outbreak. According to a World Food Program assessment released, half of Afghanistan's inhabitants, which accounts for 22.8 million people, suffer a severe starvation emergency. The nation is on the brink of a humanitarian catastrophe, with over 3 million kids under the age of 5 in danger, according to the report, which is due to high unemployment and a shortage of money. Notably, in the administration's publications, this is also the first time the US government has explicitly addressed the connection between climate change and immigration. The World Food Program, or the WFP, has already issued warnings about this upsurge in migration, particularly in Central America. Beasley also used the United States and Central America's dry corridor as an example, which comprises of Honduras, Guatemala, Nicaragua, and El Salvador. The Ethiopian World Food Program estimates that over 5 million people in the Tigray region urgently require food aid due to Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed's huge operation against the Tigray People's Liberation Front, the TPLF, since last year. Many civilians have lost their lives, and more than 2 million people have been forced to flee since then, making this a difficult time and the right time to face the crisis. People in need have to wait longer for humanitarian groups like the World Food Program to deliver aid, which has exacerbated the issue. Beasley admitted during an extensive interview that he's not sure where they're getting their meals from. After a heated exchange of tweets between Musk and Beasley, Beasley later admitted that while the $6 billion pledge would not end world hunger, it would avoid global political instability, mass migration, and save 42 million people on the verge of starvation. According to a link shared by Musk among the tweets to a 2015 Express investigation, UN peacekeepers in the Central African Republic sexually abused children in 2014. Musk directed a question to Beasley, asking, "What happened here?" Musk has been criticized in the past for not donating more of his enormous riches, but he has also stated that he prefers to stay incognito when donating money, and asked his Twitter followers earlier this year for critical feedback on how he can contribute. Recently, Musk made a $100 million carbon removal reward commitment and promised to give away another $150 million to other charitable activities. What do you think? Will Musk get on board with Beasley's idea? While it hasn't been clear whether Musk will accept Beasley's idea, there's still a pretty high chance of rejecting it. The reason being, the UN has been working with way more than what Beasley is asking for, but hasn't even come close to solving the world's hunger problem. Well, compared to other well-known billionaires, do you think Musk is doing enough? For a person pushing technologies through the roof while trying to save us from global warming and related catastrophes, I would say he is doing just enough. Well, that's all for today. See you in the next video.